Right now at noon, the death toll continues to rise after a fatal duck boat accident in Missouri. Plus, crews are cleaning up in Iowa after more than 24 tornadoes hit the state yesterday. And a construction project for a new school in Texas has turned into a graveyard from a disturbing period of Texas history.
This is News 3 at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 at noon on this Friday afternoon. We'll get to those stories in a minute, but first let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Hattie McLean has a look at your first alert forecast. Hattie.
Our forecast today, Mark, does include on and off chances for rain. Let's take a look at our live shot from the WISC-TV camera. Outside, we still have raindrops on the camera lens as we look towards the west. Here's a look again at the west side of town. We are going to see a little bit of a break at times here from the rain, but you still may see some drizzle, and that probably is not showing up on the radar map right now. So keep that umbrella handy as we go through the rest of the afternoon. Temperatures are slowly climbing into the lower 70s, but we're not going to go too far today. Take a look at this temperature trend. Holding steady in the low 70s this afternoon. Northwest winds anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour will drop back into the 60s by 10 p.m. tonight.
Some areas got a lot of rain already.
Yeah, some places over an inch or even over an inch and a half. So we'll run down those rain totals in Maine weather.
And more to come. All right, Hattie, thank you. Topping our news today, dive teams have recovered 17 bodies now from a boat disaster near the tourist haven of Branson, Missouri. Venton Blandon reports.
It's going under.
Passengers on a nearby showboat watched in horror as Table Rock Lake overwhelmed the duck boat, along with 31 people on board.
We have a report of a duck that has sank completely. They have lost sight of it.
Anybody that can read me, I need a rope on the bow.
Dive teams searched for survivors late into the night and are back out again today.
A lot of families involved with us down here on vacation trying to enjoy time, and ends up with an incident like this.
Video from earlier in the day shows rough waters on the lake. Around the time the boat sank, thunderstorms with wind gusts of 63 miles per hour were recorded nearby. The owner of the duck boat company says nothing like this has ever happened in the company's 47-year history.
No, it shouldn't have been in the water if what happened happened.
The duck boat owner says life jackets were on board. Under law, passengers are not required to wear them. Cell phone video shows the chaotic scene on the shore after first responders helped pull people from the water.
EMTs, tell one of the EMTs.
Crews say they'll recover the boat from the bottom of the lake later today.
It landed, I believe, in about 40 foot of water and rolled down into 80 foot of water.
Investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board are now at the scene and will be asking, given the weather conditions, why the boat was out on the water in the first place.
And President Trump tweeted his condolences today, extending his deepest sympathies to the family. The Kenosha County Sheriff's Department says a woman attending the Country Thunder Wisconsin Music Festival in Twin Lakes has been seriously injured by a lightning strike. The Sheriff's Department identified her as 22-year-old Brittany Friend from Illinois. Sheriff's officials say it happened about 12:30 this morning at the festival's campground. She was found unconscious and transported to Northern Illinois Medical Center for treatment. A Madison man is facing charges for operating his vehicle while intoxicated early Friday morning. Deputies say 58-year-old J.C. Williams was arrested around 1 o'clock this morning after being stopped by a deputy. They say Williams was stopped when a deputy noticed the registered owner of the vehicle being driven had a revoked license. Williams was arrested on his 4th OWI charge and cited for operating after revocation from a previous alcohol-related incident and not having insurance. President Trump's former attorney says he secretly recorded a conversation between himself and the then future president discussing payments to former Playboy playmate Karen McDougal. According to the New York Times, the recording, which was made shortly before the presidential election, was seized during an FBI raid on Cohen's office in April. Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, confirmed that Trump had discussed the payments with Cohen on the recording. Trump has denied McDougal's allegation of an affair. And President Trump says he had a, quote, tremendous meeting with Vladimir Putin earlier this week in Finland, so he wants to do it again. The White House has confirmed it's working to set up a second summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin. This time, it would be in Washington, D.C. this fall. President Trump set off a firestorm after Monday's meeting with the Russian leader. The president later said he misspoke by appearing to side with Putin over U.S. intelligence agencies about Russia's meddling in the presidential election.
We had a tremendous meeting. I think it was a very good press conference. I mean, except for the fake news, I really think I did very well at the press conference.
The details of what President Trump and Putin discussed in their nearly 2-hour one-on-one meeting remains practically unknown. Several Iowa cities are assessing the damage today after being slammed by a series of destructive tornadoes. The National Weather Service received reports of 27 twisters yesterday. At least 17 people were injured. In Altoona, a pair of tornadoes tag-teamed the destruction. In Pella, this tornado destroyed parts of the Vermeer Corporation's manufacturing plant. 7 employees were injured.
There is significant structural damage and personal property damage across the Vermeer campus. So, yeah, we certainly are going to rebuild, and we're going to come back stronger than ever.
We're given about 45 minutes to take cover from the storm, which packed winds over 100 miles an hour. Much of the city is still without power. A construction project for a new school near Houston has turned into a teachable moment itself after building work uncovered human remains from a disturbing period of Texas history. Archaeologists say the site was the burial ground for almost 100 African Americans after the Civil War. They are believed to be prisoners who were forced to work on plantations. Found in what appears to be wooden caskets, all but one of the remains found so far are male. They range in age from 14 to 70. Scientists also uncovered artifacts from the era, including bricks and chains.
We're looking at what are called musculoskeletal stress markers. And when you do heavy labor and you do heavy labor over and over and over again, it actually changes the bone.
The facility still plans to open for the 2019 school year as they continue to build around the gravesite. The Texas Historical Commission is asking people to get in touch with them if they believe any of their relatives may have been buried there. There's more to come on News 3 at noon. I'm next. We'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Ooh, it's so good.
That's a wrap.
A wrap? In my world, that's what we eat for lunch. So stick around and I'll show you what we're making. It seems that everywhere we go, we find wraps on the menu. The thing we love most about them is that they're super portable, they taste great, and they have the convenience of a sandwich, but with less calories and carbs. So let me share with you a fancy-dancy wrap that we just came up with. All we do is cut up some grilled chicken. Now, we could start off with some fresh chicken and cook it in a grill pan, or we can buy some pre-grilled, refrigerated, or frozen chicken, which is a lot easier. Okay, we toss that with some red grapes that we've cut in half, a bit of chopped celery, some shredded carrots, a couple tablespoons of walnuts, along with some mayo, and a pinch of salt and pepper. Now, after we give that a quick mix, we spoon it onto a tortilla shell that we top with some lettuce and fold it up like this. We bring the bottom over the filling, fold in the sides, and roll it up, ending with the seam side down. Is that easy enough or what? And when you cut this in half, you can see it's bursting with all the goodness you love from a sandwich in the convenience of a wrap. The recipe for our company fancy chicken wraps is online now, just in time to try out when you want something a bit special, but still easy. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a yummier way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 at noon. A rainy start to your Friday. Meteorologist Hattie McLean has your weekend forecast when we come back. Our call fraction phone bank is open right now, ready to take on your consumer issues. The number 608-270-2833. Wall Street responds to tariff threats. Diane King Hall has more in today's Money Watch report.
The threat of more tariffs on China caused Wall Street to open mostly lower on Friday. Investors became skittish after President Trump suggested the White House could seek billions more in tariffs. General Electric is reporting a 30% drop in profit to $800 million for the last quarter. GE has been working to slim its waistline by cutting jobs and selling units. And you may remember the company was dropped from the Dow last month after being a member for more than 100 years. Merck makes a promise to cut drug prices. The company says it is cutting the price on 7 of its drugs, including a hepatitis C treatment. The drug maker also said it would not raise the average net price of other medicines it makes by more than the annual inflation rate. Merck is the first major drug maker to announce a voluntary price decrease. And Burberry is under fire. The luxury clothing brand reportedly burned more than $36 million worth of goods in the past year, according to the Times of London. That includes clothing like its famed trench coats, polo shirts, bags, and perfume. Burberry acknowledges it did incinerate items, but claims it was in a responsible fashion. Now, some high-end labels destroy merchandise to prevent brand dilution. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Diane, thank you. The Dow rebounding a bit at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is up 27 points. The NASDAQ up 9.5. Let's check in now with Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee on this rainy County Fair Friday.
Yeah, well, there is that. But I'll tell you, the rain is welcomed by a lot of folks around my listing area. That's for sure, Mark. In my backyard, tell Hattikins, I picked up about 1.25 inches in the past 24 hours time on the far west side of Madison. So starting to see the soils respond a little bit, and definitely the crops responding as well. Our markets today in Chicago are amazingly robust. At least the corn and the wheat are. Wheat's up double digits. Some of this has to do with the drought monitor that came out yesterday showing very, very strong drought pockets in areas like Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, some real big wheat growing areas. Missouri also being hit by a drought. So that might curtail a little bit of what we'll expect as far as overall yields are concerned. The corn market is down about 3% compared to a year ago with these tariffs. The wheat market is also down about 3%. The soybean market's down about 3% right now, but the wheat market with these tariffs down about 26% according to the latest analysts that I have been following. So those are things that, again, Wisconsin farmers are paying attention to. I hope to see you tonight. Dane County Fair has their youth livestock auction. We'll start at 5:45 with registration. 6:45 is when we get rolling with the actual bids. And then rain or sunshine, either one, doesn't matter. We're going to do the Farm Bay Boogie Tractor Parade tomorrow, 11 a.m. sharp. Have your tractors behind the Alliant Energy Center ready to parade. We won't keep you for very long, but boy, I'll tell you, talk about making memories. Those families really love to see those tractors. Barrel cheese today dropped another 4.5 cents. 40-pound block cheese also down 1.25 pennies today, but the AA butter, that stays unchanged at $2.25 a pound. So it doesn't matter what the weather is going to have happen, Mr. Kane. We are still going to be out at the Dane County Fair this afternoon as well as tomorrow. I hope a lot of folks are ready to join us. You know, I like the temperatures. I can deal with the wet. You know, I'll bring an umbrella or I'll bring a rain jacket, whatever. But I'm glad I'm not walking around sweating every step of the way.
And that's usually the case for the Dane County Fair.
Yes, it is. That's right.
It's not an all-day rain. Just grab an umbrella and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's right. Right. That's right.
Well, have fun boogieing with your tractor.
I will. Thanks.
We'll see you next week. Hattie McLean is out in the Hattie-O patio with a look at our Friday weather. No umbrella right now.
No, but look where it is. It's right here. You don't want to leave the umbrella too far away from you today because on and off rain showers are in the forecast. And just like Pam, I think we live about a mile apart. I had about 1.25 inches in my rain gauge as well. I emptied the rain gauge here at the station this morning, and since about 4:30 this morning, we've gotten 3/4 inch of rain on top of what fell last night. Here's a look at 24-hour precipitation estimates, and that bright blue shaded area is expanding a little bit from what we saw earlier this morning. So more locations picking up at least 1 inch, but there are spots in southern Wisconsin, west of and southwest of Madison, that have picked up anywhere from 1.5 to 3 inches of rain. Now, those higher totals are not widespread at this hour and not expected to be too widespread, but we'll continue to add to these rain totals today. At this hour, the lunch hour, most of the rain is moving to the east. Things are actually starting to dry out just a little bit in southwestern Wisconsin. So look looks like we have a bit of a break from the precipitation from Madison and points to the west. But again, fair game for more showers to develop and move through for the rest of today right into tonight. The back edge of the storm system still sits in Minnesota and Iowa, so we are still going to be under the influence of this area of low pressure for the next 48 hours. No severe weather, though, is expected here. That's good news. That severe weather threat, though, is pretty high across parts of western Kentucky and southern Indiana today, even into parts of northern Tennessee. That'll be the focus for those stronger thunderstorms. For us, we just have on and off rain showers and a few isolated thunderstorms. Chances are high that you're likely going to get wet through the afternoon, but those rain chances do diminish then as we head towards midnight tonight. Here's a look at the Edgewater Sky Cam. Pretty great shot this lunch hour over downtown Madison. It is 70 degrees in Madison and Janesville. Platteville's 70 as well, 67 only in the Dells. Kind of a cool day at the water parks today. Dew points are high though, so it's very muggy outside. Here's a look at your future track forecast model, and it is showing you that scattered rain showers will be the rule through the rest of the afternoon right into the evening. There will be periods of dry weather, but it is fair game for any showers to move in for the entire area. Likely a bit of a break tomorrow morning, but then some scattered showers do develop as we head towards the lunch hour and then continue into the afternoon and evening. Rain totals here for southern Wisconsin, on top of what has already fallen, could range from 1/4 of an inch to over an inch, especially east of Madison. Here's a look at that extended forecast. So kind of a gray start to the weekend. Temperatures are going to stay a little cool for this time of the year. We would normally be in the low 80s. We'll be in the 70s through Sunday. Looks like the system finally moves out of the area by Sunday afternoon, setting up a dry start to next week. And Mark, we're right back in the 80s.
But as Pam mentioned, some much needed rain across southern Wisconsin.
That's true. Yeah, we did need this rain.
All right. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
There's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, an act of kindness at a Starbucks in Fountain, Colorado has gone viral. We'll have that story when we come back. Well, a downpour nearly ruined the senior pictures for one Colorado teenager who has disabilities. But workers at a Starbucks stepped in to make sure things turned out picture perfect. Katie Pelton shares this heartwarming story.
Viral kindness in the coffee shop.
It's been a whirlwind.
Sometimes a small gesture can go a really long way.
You don't expect people to do nice things like that, and it just happened.
Laura Johansson was having senior pictures taken for her daughter, Sydney, but the weather took a turn on Sunday afternoon.
We jumped in the car. We're driving around Fountain looking for a place to take these pictures.
Family friend and photographer Jessica Valia says they couldn't reschedule because Sydney has an upcoming surgery, so they improvised.
We ended up in the Starbucks parking lot because it seemed like the most trendy, teenagery thing that we could possibly do.
So Chris, behind the counter at this Starbucks off Fountain Mesa Road in Fountain, said yes. He opened the doors. He even grabbed an umbrella to help Sydney stay dry on the way in.
And he put it over Sydney, and he's not over himself. He was trying to shield Sydney and I from the rain.
Sydney has cerebral palsy and some other health issues. She will graduate with the Widefield High School class of 2019. So senior pictures are an important milestone.
She's outlived everybody's expectations. So it's pretty remarkable.
The Starbucks employees helped make it all so memorable.
10 minutes later, they came back with all these signs and started hanging them up in the corner and moving stuff so that we could shoot there. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, that's when the tears were like, okay, we can't cry right now. Like, we'll cry about this later.
Inspired by that act of kindness, Jessica posted pictures on Facebook.
It has thousands of comments and likes and shares, and I just can't even keep up with it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. She's totally famous. Just like I always knew she would be.
It's a reminder for all of us. Even a passing storm can be an opportunity to spread some sunshine.
All of these fates aligned and gave me the most perfect story for my most perfect kid. And like, I couldn't have asked for anything better.
Like a happy ending, right?
Yes, what a heartwarming story.
And that could be a problem around here today, taking pictures outside.
Yeah, I hope you don't have picture plans outside today because it could be wet at any time. Right now, relatively dry here on the west side of town and west of Madison. Showers continue to rotate through east of Madison, so if you're traveling to Milwaukee, roadways will be wet. Here's a look at your forecast. We're not going to move too far with the temperatures today. 73 with cloudy skies, scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Keep the umbrella handy, as you say.
Right.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.